Hello, welcome. Today I have some news to share with you. I think it's exciting. It's also, I have mixed feelings about it, but I think it's good news overall. Um, Record time is evolving into something new, something that I'm calling Akashic goodness. And it's not, I'm like sitting here with like the words, and it's not fully formed yet, like what the new thing is gonna be. There's definitely some structure in place, and there's a new world kind of opening up, but I'm still feeling it out. And it doesn't feel like true to say record time is ending, because it's not, but it is evolving into something new. And it's going to live in a new place. Instead of being, only on YouTube, it's going to live primarily on Substack now. And it will be called Akashic Goodness. And I explain like the changes in my newsletter and on my website. And so if you're seeing this but you're not on my newsletter, you can go to the link in the description and you'll be able to read about all the changes. There's lots of changes happening in my little Akashic world right now. So, but I wanted to devote this video to thanking record time and kind of illuminating like what this process has been like to create something and be with it, and then come to a place where it's now evolving. So so I'm just gonna speak to record time and its life. This is like an ode to record time. So record time, when it began, was basically like a trust fall into the Akashic records for me. It was it started as Instagram lives, which feels like insane to think about. But record time started as, Instagram lives, where I would, at the same time every week, start a live stream and just channel something from the records. And that like eventually became record time. And I think like, for the first couple, it didn't even have a name. Like I was just channeling something from the records. And I started doing that pretty early in my practice. I think I had only been working with the records for a little over a year at that time when I started record time. And I was not used to sharing from the Akashic records. So I was like really early in my practice and in my in my work, like doing this, offering this to other people in any capacity. And so as a way to practice sharing, I was working with one of my teachers at the time, and he suggested that I do these live videos. And so I listened, because I'm a good student. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it. And I noticed like I was doing them. He was like, yeah, just do them every week and like practice, because he had noticed in me like I was hesitant. I was scared to like share and talk. I was really hesitant. I think I still am, but less so than I was. And so he thought it would just be a good exercise to do. So I was doing that, and then I realized, like my time studying with him came to a close, and I realized at the end, I was like, he didn't tell me when to stop. So I guess I'll keep going. Like, and that's how record time has continued. It's like it started as like basically an invitation that someone casually gave me. Like it was a suggestion that my teacher gave me. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And I don't think he thought I would be so devoted to it. And I don't think I thought I would be so devoted to it. And I definitely, when it started, didn't think that it would last so long. But in a way, it kind of it's been almost 4 years. We're almost at 200 episodes of Record Time, which is like unbelievable to me because it started, um, really casually, kind of like, as a whim, and so it's crazy to think that it's gone for 4 years just because someone told me I think it would be good for you to do it, and they just happened not to give me a cutoff point, and so I just kept going. So yeah, and like 200 episodes later, almost here we are, and so. But like what it was for me, what it ended up being for me, and the reason I continued was it was such a profound trust building exercise between me and the records because um yeah, I mean, you might be able to imagine what it could feel like to be new at something and then to start a live video that can't be edited, that you can't undo, you can't cut anything out, you just do it and you post it and then you leave it up. And no one was watching it at that time, so there was like some safety around that where it was like it didn't really matter because I think like just a couple of my friends were watching it, but um yeah, it was like really scary. And the way that Record Time was at that time is like I would have a question. It started with I had a question for the records and I would open the records, ask them that question, and then just see what they said. And then what it quickly evolved into was I didn't have a question. And the records were kind of like shifting how we related with Record Time, which was instead of me bringing a question, I wouldn't know. Like I wouldn't know what we were going to talk about. And so Record Time, again, it was like this profound trust building exercise with me and the records where it was like I open the records, I press record, and then I see what we're going to talk about today. And that is still the way it is today, where it's like I start the recording and you see it in every video. I pause and then I hear what they say and then I tell you about it, and it's all in like very much in real time. And the reason like Record Time has the style that it has today is because it started as live videos where it's like I was in the habit of not being able to edit it, and that's why these videos are never edited now, because that's how I did it, and also I'm lazy. So so I just got into the habit of just being able to, you know, just offer whatever was there and keep moving with it. So Record Time is really the vehicle, it's the means, it's like the medium through which I built trust in my relationship with the records. And yeah, I'm like feeling so grateful just thinking about it, because this like creative project that is Record Time has gifted me so much. It's taught me so much over the years. And I think, yeah, one of the big things is it's helped me cultivate trust in my relationship with the records. And it has taught me consistency and the value of consistency, the value of consistent practice, which is something I talk about when I work with people. And the reason I talk about that is because it's deeply valuable to me. And Record Time is one expression of how I show up for my practice. And something I've said in a lot of videos, I've said to a lot of clients, it's like one of the core values of like my philosophy of personal practice is if you show up for your practice will show up for you. And I think Record Time is the deepest, most alive creative embodiment that I personally have around that tenet, around that principle, that idea that if you show up for something, it will show up for you. And the way you show up for something, the way you show up to life, is the way life shows up to you. And I believe that deeply because, partly in part because of Record Time, because every week for 4 years, I would show up having no idea what I was going to say, not knowing if there would be anything to say. And every single time the records showed up for me. And that's a profound gift. It has really felt like a gift to be met every single week by the records. And, when I offer these videos, I'm receiving them just as much as you are. I'm hearing it, I'm receiving it, I'm drinking it in for the very first time as I'm saying it. And so these messages, these episodes have always been as much for me as they are for you. Record time in some ways is a selfish thing. It definitely started as a selfish thing, and it's kind of like, the records are gifting me something, and I'm sharing it with you too, because it felt valuable to me. And it's been such a pleasure to be able to share this like really personal practice with you. And I hope that you've gotten something out of it over the last few years. And what I've noticed in my experience, being someone that is also receiving record time, I'm a recipient of record time as much as anyone else who watches these videos is it has changed. I think it's gotten better over time. And I think it has evolved into something really different than what it was when it started. Because I didn't know what it was when it started, and it has its own spirit. Like, record time is so alive, it's like its own being to me. And now it has shaped itself, it has revealed itself to me, it's unfolded so organically over time into what it is now. And knowing what it is now, experiencing it, record time as it is now, it feels like it has outgrown this container. And it feels like it is valuable. Every week it's so beautiful, what the records offer us. And it seems like the container that it's in doesn't fit what it is anymore. And I'm feeling a call to offer a more aligned space to record time, something that will honor the value that it has grown into. And it's for that reason that I'm shifting, I'm allowing record time to be in the flow of its natural evolution. It's different than it was, it is changing. And so I'm wanting to give it space to take on this new shape. And that's why I'm moving it to Substack. And what that means is it's not going to be free every week anymore. And this was such a huge decision that I was sitting with, because I didn't want it to feel like I'm taking something away from you. And because that's not really what it is. That's not where it's coming from. It's not like I'm gatekeeping the records from you and saying now you have to pay for it. Just because I've done 200 and now it's time to pay me for it. It's not coming from that place. It's more like, it feels like record time has become richer. It's become a more valuable, potent offering than it used to be. And I want to treat it with the respect and value that it deserves. And it feels like putting record time into Substack, where people can be a supporting member of it, they can offer, something in exchange for record time. It feels really aligned, and it feels really valuing to record time. It feels valuing to the records for what they gift us every week. And it just seems like it's a more aligned fit for what it is right now. And again, I know it might feel like, oh, I'm taking something away from you that has been freely given all this time. And yet accessibility is extremely important to me. And so record time, instead of being free, it's going to be $5 a month. And I'm keeping the cost low. And I know that that still might not be within everyone's capacity, but I'm doing my best. It's one of my intentions to keep record time really accessible so that you can still engage with it to the capacity that you're able to. And because I want this to be for you, this record time, I do experience it as a gift that is, I want to be able to freely share it with everyone. And at the same time, I want all of us and really myself to value record time as what it is now. And it seems like placing it into a member-supported community like Substack it almost feels like I'm picking up record time and placing it on an altar. And it feels really respectful, it feels really valuing, and it feels really appropriate. And again, it's just coming from a place of love for record time, for the records, and for all of you for tending to it and showing up for it and enjoying it each week. And it feels like I'm giving record time space to be even bigger and better. So that's where we're at. And the sense, feeling into the potential of record time in this new form. My Substack is called Akashic Goodness. And it seems like it speaks to, the goodness that the Akashic Records share with us every week. And so, yeah, it seems like feeling into the potential of record time. I don't know exactly what it's going to look and feel like, a year from now. There is going to be Akashic Goodness shared every week still, over on Substack. And there will still be some free goodness shared too. So if you're not able to, be a supporting member of the Substack, there's still going to be stuff for you to engage with. It just won't be every single week. So there's still going to be free goodness. There will now be, some paid tier, a subscription tier that you can engage with if you're able to and want to. And it seems like the sense that I'm getting from record time is that it will continue to unfold and reveal this new evolution to all of us over the next few months. So it might take some finessing. It might take some, there will probably be like a growth curve to it of like kind of feeling into finding out what it is. I'm kind of like, it almost feels like I'm sculpting the new thing out of clay, or rather the clay is revealing its new form to me. So there's likely going to be, some kind of like playground feeling into it over the next few months as it kind of shows us what it wants to be, going forward. But it is going to live on Substack. There will be weekly goodness in whatever form it takes. And there's going to be a lot of Akashic goodies waiting for us in the future, I think. So this was a longer one, and if you, took the time to watch this, thank you so much. If you feel inspired to, if you'd like to, if record time, if you've enjoyed it, at all over the last 4 years, if there's something, if you could speak to the spirit of record time, if you wanted to share something with the spirit of record time, you can leave a comment. Sharing your inspiration with record time. And again, the name of this video is Thanking Record Time, and I'm filled with nothing but gratitude for record time and what it's taught me and what it's grown into, and for all of you for cherishing it with me. So thank you. And I'll see you soon. Wishing you well until next time. Namaste.